Do you try your best to be happy, chirpy, and bright all the time? Do you love yourself? Do you take good care of yourself? If the answer is yes, perfect. But in all this, do you at times feels lost? Get these weird thoughts of what if I fail? Am I good enough? I feel low. Feels like crying. Feels like not talking to anyone. Shutting ourselves to the whole world. How do you deal with this? Do you let it go or do you address it wisely? Hello, today on the occasion of World Mental Health Day, let's talk and understand more about mental health. My name is Shamshad Mani. I am the counselor and special educator in Rainbow International School. Before we start the session, I request you all to watch this and attend this session with all your family members. This is the time to bring about change in our culture, the way we understand mental health. This is the time when we start contributing and making each other's mental health fit. So let's begin. Let's talk about mental health. Let us start with the definition of mental health. According to the definition of mental health, it is the emotional, social, and physical well being of the person. It is also the ability to function satisfactorily. It is also the absence of mental illness. And it is also how do you think, feel, and act. So we will try and talk about all these in our session today. So when we talking about, it is about our feelings. It is also about expressing our feelings. Let us first talk about feelings and then we'll move ahead to discuss how can we start expressing. So these are some feelings that we experience sometimes. Do we feel I need to disappear? I just need to shut myself and just I have to go and I just have to not talk to anyone. This is one of the feeling that we may experience at time. Then there is feeling of shame. Then there is also a feeling of self doubt. At times, as you can see in this picture, at times you may feel, I'm so happy about it. I'm going to go out, I'm going to have fun, I'm going to meet my friends. And like in 5 minutes, you are like, say, I'm going to cancel the program. I don't feel confident. I don't want to go anywhere. So there is also a feeling of self doubt that may come, and this is something that we may experience at times. This is another emotion, this is another feeling that we may experience. We feel so heavy that we have a burden on ourselves and we want to get rid of it, but then you just can't think of any way, or how can you just get rid of it? So there is a fear, there's a constant fear. Kids have fear of exam, kids or teenagers have fear of losing out on their friends, parents have fears, everybody have some or other kind of fear or anxiety, and you want to put it down, you want to get rid of it, but then you just don't know how to do it. And then you feel like there are judgments happening. Many a times we at times get into it, we at times call it something like, you seem okay, you were fine yesterday, you are too young for that, you can't go mentally ill because you're young, you were okay, you were just fine, and it can't be that bad. And internally what is happening to the person who's not feeling fit mentally may just go lost, may just feel, like in the picture, I'm sorry that I don't look sick. So mental illness should of course be given importance, equal importance as physical fitness. Your mental health, you should be giving importance as you give importance to your physical health, but then it doesn't show off on a surface what is happening. Look at this picture here. We get told, by people to put our brave face. You're brave, you can do this, you're capable of so much. There's a lot of pressure that, it comes from the society, and also there is a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves. But sometimes, what is the bravest thing to do? It's just to take that face off and let the world see, okay, you're vulnerable, okay, you are, at times there are times when you go weak, there are times when you feel low. So it is not always important to keep that brave face on. There are some misconceptions about mental illness that we need to get rid of. There are misconceptions like people with mental illnesses are dangerous. No, they aren't dangerous. They are not dangerous. People with mental illness is just a mindset problem. No, it is not a mindset problem. Mental illness only concerns sick people. Like, yes, we have seen people with terminal disorders, terminal diseases. They have their mental health does get affected, but then it is not always the case. Mental illness cannot be cured by can be cured by food and fitness. So again, it's a misconception. Therapy traumatizes people more than it's helpful. It's not true. Therapy really helps. People with mental illness wants attention. Again, it's not true. It's a misconception. Medications for mental illness are dangerous. Again, it so there is nothing, there should be no self prescription. There are professionals, they are working towards this. So if required, there are medications. If not, so medications are never dangerous. It depends upon what is the intensity, and there are professionals to help us with that. Getting help for mental illness is easy. Again, why is it a misconception? Yes, it is difficult. Not many in our culture understand the importance of mental health. We still have the taboo that somebody having a mental illness is it may not be social, or may keep crying, or may not be a good influence. And then there are times when we distance ourselves from somebody who is mentally not fit. There's a last misconception here. People with mental illness are manipulative. No, they aren't. I hope as we move forward, we'll take care of all these things, and let us see how we can help the society to get rid of these misconceptions, and let us also try and contribute to the society, and empower people with the real meaning of mental health. Mental health is just as important as your physical health. Why are we then not talking about it? We should be able to talk about our mental health just the way we talk about our physical health. We do call our friends and say, okay, you know what, my back is aching, or my head is aching, or I am not in a good shape physically today. Why can't we just call our friends and say, okay, I'm very low today. I think I'm anxious, or I think I need to consult a counselor. So because we still into that, we are culture. We are in a culture where acceptance comes very difficult if it is a mental illness. So now this is the time that we need to change. We need to change ourselves. We need to change people around us. We need to change our society, and we have to convey. Let's become the ambassadors of mental health and say it's okay. It is okay to cry. There is no There's no such thing that you cannot cry or crying is for somebody who's weak. Let's get rid of this misconception and say it is okay to cry. Mentally ill or mentally fit, it is just okay to cry. Why there are so many judgments? Why there are so many judgments? People calling each other loser, idiot, lame, stupid, ugly. There are so much of judgment. This is one of the reason why we cannot come up, open ourselves and say, okay, I'm feeling low, or I feel I have a symptoms of depression, or this is one of the reason why people are not opening up. Let's get rid of all the judgment. This is for all the parents, all the teenagers, all your friends. This is for everybody. So we'll also talk about what we have to do. At times, this is the feeling. You may feel I'm just tired, but then there could be, there could be loneliness, that there could be anxiety, there could be depression, there could be insomnia, there could be something else. And what are you labeling it as? You're just saying, I'm just tired. So it is very important that we acknowledge what's going wrong and we accept it. Here I'll give you an example. Like it happens when, with teenagers especially, it happens like all these situations. The home atmosphere is good, parents are doing well financially, you have enough friends, you have social media accounts, uh, you're you're rocking the world, sharing your pictures, doing well, but then still feeling that void, that vacuum from inside. Why does that happen? Why does that happen? At times you may feel, this is so heavy, I can't take it anymore, I don't know what I'm doing. And there is no reason. At times there is just no reason, but then you're still feeling sad. Does it happen? Do you ever experience this? We'll talk why. Things I'm done feeling guilty about. It's okay if you're having a panic attack. It's okay if somebody else is having a panic attack in public. There are things that we can do to take care of them. Having to cancel, it's okay. Being an emotional person, it's okay. Disagreeing with someone, that's fine. Standing up for your beliefs, taking time for yourself, that's absolutely fine. At times, as we were saying, as I was giving you the example of the teenagers who may feel lost at times, there could be a trigger or there could be no trigger at all. Trigger could be some kind of trauma, some kind of, if there's a loss of your, if there is a if somebody, if there is a illness, or if there is a death in the family. So these are the triggers why you may feel, or if there is heartbreak, or if somebody is cheating you, somebody is talking on your back, this could be a trigger. And there could be something like, you're just feeling upset, you're feeling extremely uncomfortable. There is no trigger at all. It could be just a, TV show going on and you may feel sad all of a sudden. It may happen. Here what we have to do is, you just have to acknowledge the fact, okay, I'm feeling low, okay, I feel like crying. Maybe this is the personality, maybe this is your personality. Just accept it. Just accept this as your personality, and then maybe figure out what are the things that I can do to, to feel better. It could be a cup of coffee, it could be watching a movie, it could be calling your friend, it could be spending time with your family. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. More important, it's very important, and it is required, especially in these time where you are available for each other to help. You're there for your friend, you're there for your kids, you're there for your parents. Mental health can go weak. It can happen with anybody. It may happen with everybody at some point of time. Some people are like
they can cope it better. Some people take time to cope. Some people may take some kind of help to cope. That's absolutely all right. If you can't help, do not judge at least. Yes, but if you can help, that will make a difference. Let's talk about what is mental health. So yes, it is important. Every something that everyone has, it's a worth making time for. It's a part of your human being. It is something we need to look after. It is positive and negative. It can be positive at times, can be negative at times. It is changeable. Yes, it is complex. It is different for different personalities, for different human being. It cannot be same for everybody, but it is real. What mental health is not, it is not the sign of weakness. Do not ever feel that if I open up, if I say I am feeling low, if I share that I feel like crying, it's my weakness. No, it's not weakness. It is not something that you be shameful of. It's not all in your mind. No, it is really happening. Mental health is not always something negative. It's not something you decide to have, right? It just happens. At times there are some triggers. At times there are no triggers, but it just happen at times. That's not something that you are or anybody else is deciding to have. I can't decide, okay, I'm going to cry today. I'll just cry today for 2 hours. And it doesn't work that way. It is not something to think about only when it feels broken. It is not feeling good all the time. That is not what mental health is. It is not something you can snap out of. You can't just say, okay, I'm crying, now I'll have to stop crying. It's not it's not that easy. It doesn't happen in a snap of time. And mental health, of course, it's not a fake news. We have to respect, we'll have to start respecting each other's mental health at times. So being overwhelmed can also cause our mental health, some kind of effect on our mental health, like this whole COVID situation caused a lot of overwhelming emotions, especially to in kids. In also in our grandparents. If you have grandparents at home, you must have felt that they've become complaining, or they may become cranky, or they may all of a sudden they are sad and they are into their own zone. So yes, because they are vulnerable as kids. If you have younger sibling or a kid at home, you will see that they are the most crankiest one, because this whole situation is so overwhelming that they are not able to take in very smoothly. So what are the signs that says you are overwhelmed? One, you have difficulty sleeping, or you're sleeping too much. You are always tired. No matter how much sleep you take, you lack energy. There is a lot of anxiety going on. You're feeling stressed out. There's a loss of appetite, or you're eating too much. There's a difficulty in focusing. There's a lack of motivation. You're keeping yourself more. You're becoming moody and more emotional. Like you feel like crying all the time. So maybe you need to figure out what is the reason. So these are the sign, yes, but very important that we need to figure out what is the reason behind it. What is the reason behind that I am feeling low, or I feel like crying, or I feel anxious, feared, scared. It's very important for me to know the reason behind it. Oh, we all will agree to this. The whole social media has caused a lot of damage, lot of damage. So at times you're watching some, you're binge watching some series, and you relate to it so much. You start relating to it so much that at times You want your life to be equally happening. And if you will see this Facebook and Insta and Twitter, how many of them are actually posting their real life? They'll just put a hashtag perfect life, hashtag loving it, hashtag super fun. But then, is it a reality, or we just take it on a face value and we start feeling sad about it? What you choose to focus on will grow. So it's up to us. What do we choose to focus on? Do we choose to focus on love, worry, self doubt, guilt, anxiety? We need to be very wise into what we need to focus. As I was saying, once, if it is our personality where we feel sad or where we feel crying, we'll have to figure out what are the things that you or we can do rather to, get back that energy. It could be coffee, it could be reading, it could be, it could be just be some time, just give some time to yourself to figure out, just to figure out. Don't push yourself. Give some time to figure out, like, what is the reason why I am feeling so sad. Dear me, don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing okay. Yes, you make a plan, you follow the plan, you go well, you take help while you're making some plan if it's not, especially if it's not working. But then it's okay if your plan's failing at times. It's just fine. Get up again, stand up again on your feet and say it's okay. I'm gonna do it again. 25 things to do instead of just sitting on the couch and going blank and lost. There are so many things. If you have only like 5 minutes, just put a song and do a crazy dance. Or if you don't have, people to share with, you don't feel like opening up, if you don't feel like talking, have a journal, maybe a 10 minutes thing every day, write it down, and that will again help you to feel relax. If you have 15 minutes, you can do some decluttering, do some artwork. In 30 minutes, you can go for a walk or exercise or listen to a podcast, very in thing nowadays. If you have a 1 hour, uh, taking an online course, it's a perfect thing to do for now. There are so many things happening online. There are so many courses and sessions happening. Why not? We can learn some baking, cooking, some cleaning, some board game. So this will really help. Out of this, we need to figure out what is that few things that really help us to lighten our mood, to feel better. Again, as this picture shows, depression looks different for everyone. We've seen so many personality, we've seen so many people committing suicide, and we say, oh, he was or she was so happy, so lively. And then we come to know they were suffering. Maybe he or she was suffering from depression. So it's different to everyone. And there are many symptoms. I am not sharing the symptoms here, because it's very subjective, and there are so many symptoms there, via which you can say, okay, a person is struggling with depression. But then, yes, it's different, and we need to respect it, we need to acknowledge it. Maybe we just need to say, okay, I'm there for you. A friendly reminder: you aren't required to impress anyone with your life choices. It's just you. And as I said, there are professionals outside available. Uh, Nowadays, so many, especially with the whole pandemic thing, there are so many professionals out there there are so many NGOs who are helping people feel better. Nothing is worth your mental health. It's very important that we take care of our mental health. We stop doubting ourselves. We share, we share with our friends. We do not judge people if they are sharing, their concerns with us. Let's cut this. Let's change this whole culture of shame. Let's change the whole culture of not talking about mental health. And this is the time we need to bring about change. Even if you're posting something on social media, why can't we just post a room full of mess and say, oh, hashtag so much to do? Why do we want everything in our life so perfect? Let's be there for each other. One more list. These are again something that you can or we can do to feel better. This is the emotional decluttering checklist. Doing this may really lighten ourselves. We may feel putting the burden away. It could be trusting your instinct, it could be expressing yourself, it could be solving some easy puzzles, recognizing your needs, taking responsibility. Many a times we are there for, at times it happens that I am there for my friend, I am there for my kid, I am there for my parents, but then are you there available for yourself? Or you say, no, these kind of feelings, I can't have it. I can't afford to have these kind of feelings. So be there, recognize what your needs are, recognize what is the trigger, what are the things that make you feel sad or low, and work upon it. Um, this is repeat after me. I am strong, I am fearless, I am worthy, I am capable, I am beautiful, and I am brave. These are some affirmations which can help us in shaping our mental health in a good way. There are many mental illnesses, and it could be anxiety, it could be post traumatic stress, it could be depression, panic. Shame is not a mental illness. Phobia, stress, and there are many hundred other mental illnesses. It's very important for all of us to be happy from inside. Let's take a pledge. Here on this occasion, let's take a pledge and say, I'll be there, I'll be available for my parents, for my colleagues, for my kids. And also, let's take a pledge and say, I am going to share. I will be courageous. I'll have that courage to just say, it's okay, I'm feeling very low. As we say, so nowadays we don't say I have a fever or a cold or a cough, but then we do say that, I'm not feeling well. I am tired, or similarly, just like that, we just have to open up and have a courage and say, I am not feeling well mentally, I am stressed, I am feeling sad, with a reason, without a reason. But then this is the time we need to change the culture. Let's all of us pledge together and say that it's fine and we are there for each other. So, with that, I will end my session. Hope you all enjoyed it, and hope we are all ready to bring about the change in the society. See you.